Hey now! So this is my complete game collection as of April 6th, 2018. Start with the systems. Here we have a PS4 Pro, the white edition. We have a Wii U. We have a Wii. We have an Xbox One, not to be confused with the Xbox One. We have the Super Nintendo Mini and the Nintendo Mini. My TV only has 3 HDMI ports. So here next to Geralt, I have an HDMI switch box. So on one single HDMI channel, I have the Wii U. Switch to channel 2. We have the Xbox One, not to be confused with the Xbox One. We have channel 3, the NES Classic, and then channel 4, the Super Nintendo Classic. Now this TV is a 4K TV, so because of that, the PS4 has its own HDMI port, so that I can actually use 4K with it, which is here, the PS4 Pro. And then here we have the Nintendo Switch, which I really like, so it has its own dedicated controls. The TV responds to the Switch, so if I turn the Switch on, the Switch is on its own HDMI port, so if I turn the Switch on, the TV will automatically change or switch to the Switch channel. As a caveat, I just want to mention, let me turn the controller on. This is probably my favorite controller ever made. It's technically made for the Switch, so it works with the Switch, as you can see. It's a Super Nintendo controller. It feels exactly like a Super Nintendo controller. It's even concave and convex in the right places. However, it's got the joysticks for modern stuff, and they click in, and then it's got the 2 triggers, and it's Bluetooth. And it's made for the Switch. Here's the home button, and then over there the screenshot button. However, you can also use it with any Bluetooth, like a PC or a Macintosh. There's a Chihuahua, by the way. Or with an Android phone. I don't know about iPhone, but you can use it with an Android phone. I also have every single Joy-Con color to date. There is red, yellow, gray. Currently using green, blue, and pink. I was using pink for Kirby. And then also 3DS XL. We'll go through some of the games that are a part of my collection. Here comes the dog. You can do it. You got it. Okay. So here's the games, listed alphabetically because my mother raised me right. Starting with the Wii U. Bayonetta 1 on Wii U is actually very rare. They only made so many copies of the first one, which bundled with the second one. Speaking of which, here's the second one. I'll point out some of the interesting stuff along the way, like DK Tropical Freeze is pretty good. Hyrule Warriors is awesome. It's coming to the Switch soon. I have every Wii U Zelda game, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remakes. Also Breath of the Wild. I'm going for a complete Lego game collection. I believe all I'm missing is Batman 2. What's up, man? So Batman, Dimensions. These are all Lego games here. This is Jurassic World. Some of these I haven't played. Mass Effect 3. Super Mario. Splatoon. This is my favorite Wii U game, Super Mario Maker. I recommend it highly. Smash Brothers. Xenoblade Chronicles. And so then we have the Wii. My Wii collection isn't very big, but I have the important ones: Animal Crossing and Skyward Sword. Also the Twilight Princess, the Wii version. Some of these came with the Wii. I bought it used on eBay. All 4 of these came with it. So did this. I bought that myself, of course. Gotta have Mario. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Paper Mario. Wii Fit came with the Wii. Wii Sports came with pretty much every Wii. Then we have the Xbox One collection. Got some Ass Creed. Doom, awesome game. Fallout 4, you're going to see that again later. I've got every Forza game so far for the Xbox One. Not to be confused with the Xbox One. Here's another Forza game. Gears of War 4, terrible game. Just Cause 3, probably the best game I ever made. Just Cause. Got some more Ass Effect. Pillars of Eternity, awesome game. Rare Replay, I bought the Xbox just for that game. Sunset Overdrive, underrated game. Titanfall, awesome game. Zoo Tycoon. Then we have the PS1 games. Austin Powers Pinball. It was like $6. I bought it just because it's funny that they made an Austin Powers Pinball game. So the PS1 era had a lot of multi-disc games. I'll show you this game when we get to it. It's actually in the PlayStation. So here's Final Fantasy 8. I don't have 7 yet, but of course 8 was 3 discs. I'm sorry, 4 discs. Final Fantasy 9 was also 4 discs. Kiss Pinball. Same reason as Austin Powers Pinball. I bought it just because they made it. Metal Gear. RPG Maker. Great game. Star Ocean. Jedi Power Battles. Awesome game. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. You don't know Jack. Awesome games. Rogue Spear. Awesome, but not so much on the PlayStation. And then we have the Xbox One games, not to be confused with the Xbox One. Cell Damage, very awesome game. 007 Everything or Nothing, that's the best James Bond game ever made. Gotta have Morrowind. Gotta have Fable. Don't judge me. Max Payne, awesome. Best baseball game ever made. Best Star Wars game ever made right here. Battlefront 2. The original Battlefront 2. Best Spider-Man game ever made. Spider-Man 2. I'm sorry. This is the best Star Wars game ever made. Knights of the Old Republic. There's a lot of Star Wars games. A lot of Tom Clancy games too. A lot of Splinter Cell. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 remade. Unreal Championship 2. Not bad. So that's it for that binder. I also have my PS4 games. Beyond Two Souls. However, I have the Central American version for some reason. City Skylines, awesome. Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, Dishonored. You saw that with the Xbox collection. I bought it for the PS4 again to play it in 4K. Dragon Age Inquisition, amazing game. Dragon Quest Builders, pretty good game. Skyrim, awesome. I have it on the PC, however I bought it on the PS4 to play in 4K. Elder Scrolls Online, terrible. I do not recommend it whatsoever. There's Fallout 4. I told you you're going to see it again. I bought it so I could play it in 4K. Far Cry 5 is an awesome game. Final Fantasy X and X2, Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 15. I tried really hard to get into it. I couldn't. God of War 3, I haven't played it yet. There's a dog licking my hand. Heavy Rain, awesome game. That's the Central American version again. Hitman, awesome game. Infamous Second Son, awesome game. I really like Life is Strange. The Last of Us. It's an awesome game, but it scares me, so I never finished it. Mafia 3, terrible game. Shadow of War, awesome game. Nier Automata is awesome. Persona 5 is awesome. The Order is not awesome. Rise of the Tomb Raider is awesome. They're both awesome, but this one is even more awesome. And of course the Uncharted collection. I haven't played this one yet. Warriors All-Stars, Watch Dogs 2, The Bitcher, Yakuza. Alright, let's move on. Hey now! So, we're moving on. Now we are on the 3DS. Here we have Animal Crossing, which is the game I bought the 3DS for originally. Bravely Default, very awesome game. Dragon Ball Fusions is not your normal Dragon Ball game. This one is actually a turn-based strategy RPG game. Pretty interesting. Dragon Quest. Highly recommend every Dragon Quest game. That's 7 and 8. Ever Oasis and Fantasy Life, 2 hidden gems. Very good games. Of course, the complete Fire Emblem collection. My personal favorite right here is Echoes. Moving on. Hyrule Warriors. Now, Kid Icarus, the physical cartridge itself, I don't believe is super rare. However, my particular version is, because it comes with the 3DS stand, and I have the box. It's up there. Both of these Kirby games are awesome. Of course, there's the 3DS Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask remakes. However, A Link Between Worlds is my favorite 3DS Zelda game. It's a direct sequel to A Link to the Past, which is my actual favorite Zelda game. Mario Golf, for some reason I love Mario Golf. The Mega Man Legacy Collection, for the same reason as Kid Icarus, while the game itself isn't particularly rare, the version that I bought is, because this one came with the golden Mega Man amiibo. Moving on. More Monster Hunter. This is alphabetically correct. It's New Super Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, so it's in the right spot. The same goes for this Yoshi's Woolly World. It's Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, so it's in the right spot. RPG Maker on the 3DS. This game is awesome. I've been working on a game for like a year. The cool thing about this is you have to buy the game to make a game, but to play a game that someone else made, you can download the app for free to play the games on the 3DS. So if somebody makes a pretty cool game, you don't have to buy the game to play their game. Here's Mario Maker again. The 3DS version is inferior, but it's nice having it portable. And of course, Xenoblade Chronicles again, and also Smash Brothers again. All three of those are from the Wii U. And then that does it for the 3DS games. Here we have the DS games. Looks like one is in my DS. Oh, Dragon Quest 4. Of course, gotta have Animal Crossing, gotta have Diddy Kong Racing, Dragon Quest 4, 5, and 6. And 9. More Fire Emblem, Mario 64. Super Princess Peach. That's a hidden gem. And then you probably noticed the distinct lack of Pokemon games. That's because they all are in their own carton here. Not in alphabetical order, but order of release and generation. Of course, again, one of them is actually in the 3DS. Looks like Pokemon Moon is in one of my 3DS systems. I have quite a few 3DS systems you're going to see. The Switch game collection, there's another video for that. I'm not going to go through that again. Let's move on. Here we have the game cabinet with limited space, so a lot of the cases are in storage. All these cases are empty. These are the 3DS cases and some amiibos, Monster Hunter amiibos. There's the Kid Icarus package I was telling you about. 3DS boxes themselves. Up here we have the boxes for the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo Classic. The Collector's Edition for Dishonored that comes with the mask and the ring. My Switch box. I bought the Holy Shit package for Watch Dogs. This is an unopened can of Surge. It's 2-3 years old now. My Xbox One cases. They're probably going to get stored pretty soon. Also, my Fire Emblem amiibos. And then here starts the Switch section, which, if you do want to see which Switch games I have, here they are. Just not the actual games themselves. Let me light them up. There they are. Down here I have of course, the Holy Shit package for Watch Dogs. Rainbow Six for Nintendo 64, you'll see that in a little while. Perfect Dark for Nintendo 64. Some amiibos back there. I had duplicates, so I decided to leave those unopened. GTA 5 Collector's Edition. Tales of the Abyss Collector's Edition. More Switch games. And then over here are my GameCube games. I don't have that many. Most of them my brother is borrowing. He's actually had them for quite a while. But these are the ones that I've bought since: Animal Crossing, Cell Damage, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Powerpuff Girls Don't Judge, Star Wars Rogue Leader. This is an unopened can of Hi-C Ecto Cooler. And then all the PS4 cases. Now, over here we have the CRT television, because all of these old systems don't work very well on modern systems. So here we have the PS1, and that game I was telling you about. This is actually one of the rarest games in my collection. It is Diablo 1 physical copy, published by Electronic Arts. How about that? We have the Xbox One, not to be confused with the Xbox One. Got the Nintendo 64 and some Zelda amiibos. And then down here, Super Nintendo and Nintendo. I need to clean up the wires. Now, this is the retro portable game collection. So starting up here, we have all the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. Of course, gotta have Pokemon, Fire Emblem, more Pokemon, more Fire Emblem. In this drawer are the PSP games. Disgaea 2, great game. GTA. A lot of cool games here. I have Battlefront 2 in here somewhere. Metal Gear Solid. Sid Meier's Pirates. Bunch of cool games. I'm not going to go through all of them. And then down here, PSP movies. These are extremely cheap, so I like to buy them. Super Troopers, Secondhand Lines, Dumb and Dumber. £7. I haven't watched that. I buy them in bulk. People on eBay will sell like a pack of 5 for $20. So I just buy them. Here's the DS Lite. The game in there is Dragon Quest IV. Here we have the PSP. I believe this is a 3000 model. Yes, the 3000 model, which is brighter and louder. This is the tub of controllers. All the controllers. The Xbox One controller, not to be confused with the Xbox One controller. Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo mouse. Some Wii controllers, Nintendo controllers, pretty much everything. These two drawers are utility drawers. And apparently a Wii remote as well. Just some various stuff like a card charger for the PS1, because I actually have the LCD screen for the PS1. Some various cables for my consoles. A couple HD cables. More utility in here. Cases for the 3DS, because it's got removable cases. The new 3DS. Some extra screen protectors. The little Joy-Con thing. Some memory cards. Some of which are unopened. Oh. Pin head from my Nintendo, my old Nintendo. I need to put that in. I'm going to replace the pins on it. Anyway, let's get back to some games. Here we've got the Nintendo 64 games. These are not listed alphabetically yet because I've been cleaning them. That's why I have the isopropyl alcohol. But I've been putting labels on them. But I've been cleaning out the bottoms. But here we've got Perfect Dark and Zelda. Let me turn this fan off. It's probably loud. Sorry about that. Let's see. Rampage, awesome game. Quake, awesome. Shadows of the Empire, awesome. Rainbow Six. This is Majora's Mask. Quake 1. Mario Golf, gotta have Mario Golf. Gauntlet Legends, that was pretty expensive actually. Rogue Squadron. GoldenEye, of course. Diddy Kong Racing. Ocarina of Time. This is my favorite part of the collection. Super Nintendo. Again, not alphabetical because I'm still cleaning them. I've got the Super Game Boy here. I was playing Link's Awakening. One of the best Zelda games ever. Just some highlights. Yoshi's Island. Down here is the good stuff. Where's my flashlight? Mystical Ninja, Link to the Past. Ooh, Ninja Turtles, that was expensive. It's not exactly rare, but a lot of people aren't selling it. They're holding on to it. So it's expensive for that reason. Mario RPG, F-Zero, Mario All-Stars. Star Fox. The thing with buying Super Nintendo games, most of them aren't that rare, but there's a lot of fakes, and so you have to really make sure you're not buying a fake. I'm actually in the process of getting this one to work. I've already taken it apart and cleaned it out. I may have to replace one of the contacts, which I have a kit to do that with. I have all the Donkey Kong games. There's Doom down there, one of the expensive ones. This game is awesome. Maximum Carnage, based on the comic series. And then, these actually are in alphabetical order. The Nintendo games. Donkey Kong. Both Zelda games. Mickey Mouse Capades. Little Nemo. I love this game. When I bought my Nintendo, I was in the market for Nintendo, of course. But I wasn't planning on buying one that day. I told the guy at the game store, I said, dude, if you have a copy of Little Nemo, I'll buy Nintendo from you right now. And my brother was there with me. And he produced a copy of Little Nemo. So I bought a Nintendo. Of course, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Awesome game. Now, it might look like we're finished, but we're not. That's probably only half the games. Because over here, we have the PC games. This is my PC. I built it myself. It's got water cooling on both the processor and the video card. So there are two radiators in this computer. There's one there. There's one there. It's the 1080, the i7. All the latest and greatest stuff. But here's my games. This is my Steam collection. How many games total? 701. Although to be fair, that includes DLC. So there's a lot of DLC, which are counted as games. So I'll just go through it. Pretty much all the Ass Creed games. Baldur's Gate is awesome. BioShock. Breath of Death. That's pretty funny. The Bureau, that game was terrible. Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided. All great games. Divine Divinity, great game. Don't Starve, great game. The Doom remake, awesome game. And of course, all the classic Dooms. Dragon Age 1 and right here, Dragon Age 2 is no longer sold on Steam. However, when I bought it when it was sold on Steam, so I still own it, but you can't buy it. So it's in my collection. So if people look at my games library, they'll see Dragon Age 2 and be like, what the hell? How does that guy have Dragon Age 2? Because I bought it forever ago. Of course, gotta have all the Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. The old classic EverQuest. This is my favorite game here, Europa Universalis 4. I have 625 hours in that game. Let's go back. Of course, Fable 3. Fable 2 didn't come on the PC. The original Fallout games, Far Cry 3 is awesome. Final Fantasy 7 I have on PC, but not PS1. Full Throttle, awesome game. Ghostbusters game was awesome. All the GTAs, all the Half-Life games, awesome games. Hitman games are awesome. Icewind Dale, awesome game. Just Cause 1, Just Cause 2, and Just Cause 3. Kerbal Space Program is awesome. Leisure Suit Larry Remaster. Life is Strange. Max Payne again, 1, 2, and 3. Might and Magic 6, that's another one that's not sold individually. On Steam, anyway. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition just came out by surprise, at least for me. I saw that it released, I was like, what the hell? So, of course, I immediately bought that. That's an awesome game. Papers, Please, amazing game. Pillars of Eternity and Planescape Torment, both awesome games. Postal 2. Prey. I tried to like Prey, but it scared me. Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, 3, awesome games. Sacred is awesome. Civilization 4, 5, and 6. The Sims. Space Quest Collection, hell yeah. Pretty much all the Star Wars games ever released on PC. Stardew Valley, awesome. I have the physical copy for the Xbox One. Surviving Mars, awesome game. The Thief games are awesome. Pretty much every Tom Clancy game and Tomb Raider game. The original Doom. The original Unreal Tournament. The Bitcher. XCOM 1 and 2. I like 2 a lot better. Now on to Origin. Pretty much all the Battlefield games and literally all the Command & Conquer games, as well as all the Dragon Age games. All the Sims expansions. And then finally, good old games. Leisure Suit Larry. South Point Adventure, I'm not sure what that is. I did not buy that. And I'm not just saying that. You can see here it says new. I think that was added to my library. I think it's free or something. But I'll have to check it out. The original Rainbow Six, the good version on PC. The Hugo Trilogy. The old Police Quest games, Quest for Glory. Alpha Centauri. The classic Fallouts, classic Roller Coaster Tycoon. The classic non-remake version of Baldur's Gate. All the Might and Magic games, 1 through 9. I'm sorry, 1 through 8. However, I do have 9. I have it on Steam. And that's everything for now. Yeah, so I realized after telling you that I have quite a few 3DS systems, as you're going to see, I forgot to actually show them to you. So I'm going to do that now. Let's just move the DS and PSP out of the way for Dylan to check out. Move this out of the way. The portable games, the retro portable game storage sits on top of the actual portable game consoles. And also something else I forgot to mention, all of my old systems here, as you can see there's only one hookup in the front. There's also one in the back. I use an AV switch box for that. This AV switch box, you can plug 8 things in and have one going out. So everything except for the Xbox One, not to be confused with the Xbox One, are right here. The Xbox One itself, not to be confused with the Xbox One, it's hooked up through the back because I use composite cables for quote-unquote HD, which is for that generation 480p. But anyway, here we go. We have the OG 3DS, the original model. I traded with a buddy from work. He put the sticker on it, which goes really well with the color. We also have This is expensive. This is it's the OG 3DS. A little bit of dust. However, it is the Fire Emblem, the special Fire Emblem edition, which did not have very many copies manufactured. So I keep it nice and pristine, and I play my Fire Emblem games on it, and only Fire Emblem. There's a little. I gotta take care of it. This thing was not cheap. It was not cheap at all. Here we have the Game Boy Color. It works. There's just no game in it. Also, probably no batteries. Oh, there are batteries. There's just not a game in it. All of these work, by the way. Except for this one. This one's questionable. Here we have a modded Game Boy Pocket. I didn't mod it myself. I bought it off of a modder on eBay. What he did was put a backlight on it. There's no game in it. Let's grab a game. Just grab one at random. I don't even know what I grabbed. Anyway, this guy put a backlight on it. Of course. C'est la vie. What game is this? I hope it's not important. Oh. They came with the Game Boy, so I don't really care if that one doesn't work. Baseball. I know this baseball game works. You know what? It's the contrast. Maybe it's not the contrast. Maybe the thing is finally dead. Oh. Yeah, the screen. That's what I was going to say anyway. It looks like now the screen doesn't work at all whatsoever. If you look here, there's a little bit of water damage. So you can kind of see a picture, but kind of not. Here the water damage is more obvious. What happened was I bought it from this guy on eBay about a year ago, and it never came in. And I emailed him and I said, "Hey, where's my package? Or, where's my Game Boy?" He said it should have arrived by now, but there is no tracking. By the way, here's the Game Boy Advance SP. I'm not sure if it has any charge. It's got a little bit of charge. I use a DS Lite for Game Boy Advance games. Anyway, I bought it from this guy on eBay, and it never showed up. I said, "Hey, where the hell is it?" He said, "My tracking shows that it arrived," and unfortunately, the tracking did show that it arrived. However, it didn't actually arrive, and so he was completely protected by eBay's policies, and there's nothing I could do about it. I was out. I think I paid like $50, $55, because it came with some of those games as well. So I had to file a lost package claim with USPS. What happened was he shipped it to my PO box through UPS, which normally what they do is they just hand it off to USPS, which they did in this case. Unfortunately, the guy marked it as being handed off when it wasn't actually handed off, so I had to do an investigation, and USPS found it a month later, but the package itself was water damaged, and so it never really worked right. So that's the story of that, unfortunately. There's my dog. Yeah, so I'm sitting here editing the video, making sure I got everything, and I realized I still forgot there is another 3DS system. These things just come out of everywhere. This is the new 3DS, the non-XL version. This is also where my other Pokemon game is going to be. And this here is a Saturn V moon rocket made out of Legos. 1,969 pieces. The year that we landed on the moon. And just because I was showing my other retro sodas, here is a Crystal Pepsi. It's about 1 year old. It's probably still edible. Okay, bye.